Let's build the Adventure Camp Cozy Cabins. First up, we get to build our first mini doll, and it is Sky, which she's adorable. She's got some overalls on. Let me make sure I get her correct face. I think it's this one because the skin tone matches. This one's lighter, yeah. She has pink hair, which is fabulous. It looks like she's got little Converse on. And this is fun. Look at this. We're gonna make a s'more, I believe. But I think she might have burnt this one. Isn't that fun? I love these mini dolls. Ooh. Well, this is a burnt marshmallow. We're going to actually put together a whole s'more here. Let's see, we got a graham cracker. We have chocolate, marshmallow, and another graham cracker. Oh, isn't that precious? Okay, so we're going to build up here. I'm going to sit her down over here with her yummy snack. There is probably not another Lego set that could be closer to my heart than this one, because I am a Colorado girl who grew up in the mountains and grew up camping, and there's just something about this set that is bringing back a lot of really special memories. So that was Sky, I believe, and this is Paisley. I think we've met Paisley before. And she doesn't come with anything, so she just kind of sits here next to her friend, if I can get her to sit. Her hair's throwing her off. Maybe she's going to stand. Goodness. Being difficult. When I saw this set was coming out, I was in love immediately because it's such a fun experience to have, to go out camping in the woods, and these cabins are adorable. I think we're going to put together the little fire pit. Some rocks in here. I love camping. I don't love the sleeping part of camping. I'm always very uncomfortable, it seems like. Not when I was a kid, but definitely as I've gotten older, it's become a little bit more difficult. We don't go very much at all, but I also don't enjoy the bugs down here as much. This is funny, there's a little plant coming out of this wood stump. I have a feeling if I still lived in Colorado that I would be constantly camping as much as I possibly could, because I just love it there. Probably time to move on back. Look at there's like little eyes in there, like a little critters peeking out at you. Okay, let me see here. I'm gonna put these on. These stumps are I don't know. You might not want to sit down too hard on these stumps, because you might squash a flower or meet a little bug. That's kind of fun that they put little extras on those stumps. Between the spiders and the snakes, that's what scares me the most down here. You don't have a whole lot of those, depending on where you go in Colorado. I mean, obviously there's bugs, but not near what we have down here in the south. It's scary what we have down here. Okay, we're going to put two different kinds of flames going on here. That's kind of cool. They have a shorter one and then a taller one. We're going to really get this fire going. We're going to make 2 more marshmallows on sticks. those together first, but I cheated and just put them right on there. Then it goes. The little green flowers hold them. We do have a fire pit in our backyard that I built up, though. When I built in the stone patio, the flagstone patio that we put in. And I always think I need to go out there and actually, do marshmallows one night and stuff, but it is so easy to just get busy and then not get out there. So they just kind of sit on there. They slide around a little bit, but they go up on here. But okay, here we go. Paisley does get a little something. I feel like I know the name of this, but I know it has a very specific name. This is not just a guitar. But I'm going to have to try to look up and see what in the world that is. I'm going to put together a couple bikes here. We sometimes took our bikes camping, but not as often. We did more hiking. Kind of holds itself up there pretty good, doesn't it? Mostly I preferred to just camp by a river up high in the mountains and just spend my day piddling around, enjoying the beauty, everything around me. 2 bikes, an orange and a blue one. And we have 2 helmets here that we can trade out their hairpiece with so that nobody gets hurt. Very good. We're going to start up the first cabin here, it looks like. Since I had grown up camping, and I pretty much think anybody who lived in Colorado, for the most part, had to, so all my friends and everything, it was just something we did. When we moved down south, we would say, okay, we were going to go camping, and we'd invite some of our friends, our kids' friends, excuse me. We found a very surprising thing. We found that most of these kids had never gone camping. And I mean, I can understand that because it really isn't as enjoyable to camp where it's really hot or just a lot more critter activity and stuff. I mean, you do think about it. We convinced quite a few of them to go camping a couple times. And these kids would go out there thinking that it was just going to be horrible. And then they would have the time of their life. It was the best thing in the world to just kind of be out in the woods away from it all and just sleeping on the ground. And it was fun. It was fun to be able to help them experience that. Although I had to be honest, we went in the fall when it was, almost cold. So that a lot of the snakes and everything would be dormant because I didn't really want to come across a ton of those. This is fun, little sticker. It's got a skunk on it. See if we can get that on there straight. I think it's telling us the skunk is making an unpleasant smell. Skunks are actually one of my favorite animals. I think they're absolutely adorable. I know I wouldn't want to come across one in the wild and have a bad interaction with it, but I think they are just the sweetest things. I know that you can keep them as pets, and you can get them demusked. Is that a word? Is that how it's called? But I think this is toilet paper. That piece is cool. One thing I have found very interesting about the friend sets is that they always seem to have a bathroom, which I think is awesome. And when this set came out, I was like, expecting the bathroom to be in the tree house, or when this little line of adventure camp, I should say, came out. I was expecting it to be in there, and then I was like, wait a minute, where is it? And I was kind of peeking around the boxes when I was buying them, and I'm like, oh, it's with the tents, which would make sense. I'd want it close by, I guess, when you were waking up. So we have our little outhouse here. Oh, got a sticker with a toilet seat. I love it. It even has a little toilet in the space band. It has a toilet in the space base camp. That's a tongue twister. Oh no. I put it the wrong way. Okay, the sticker still works. Oh no. So it's like a little stall door. That's fun. We got a wash station right out here. Very handy. A little faucet here. There was a KOA that we used to camp at all the time in Durango, Colorado. When I was a young one, and I used to think that place was heaven on earth. They had a pool. They had an old outdoor movie theater screen that they would play old movies on each night. I love that place so much. I would love to go back. We would go down there a lot, and then we'd get to go explore Mesa Verde, and we'd get to go on the Durango and Silverton train. I was trying to figure out if I was doing that right. They're on all 4 of these prongs, so we're going to put a fern or a branch on each one of these. I think those were my favorite vacations when we were going to go there. So we're going to do that 2 times. We're going to put them in. We're going to do another one, and it'll sit up on top. So remember to put them upside down, it looks like. A little less wild, I suppose, to camp at a KOA than just going out into the national park campgrounds, which we did plenty of both. They each had their beauty, I suppose. The best part about camping out in the national forest was we had to stay a certain distance, I would say, within the campground. We couldn't just go miles and miles away, but for the most part, my parents would just let us roam, and we would get to go out and just explore for hours and hours, only show up back up to the campground, when we were hungry. And I mean, there was always a concern about bears, but we stayed close enough by that it really wasn't an issue, and I'm sure my dad was probably hawk's-eyed knowing where we were, but it felt like we just had freedom out in the woods, and we would just go exploring and climbing over rocks and up little cliffs, and best time ever. There's a ton of little pieces left over. They were very generous, and we're on to bag 2. We're going to grab our little outhouse here and build off of it a little bit more. Quite a few pieces in this bag. Oh, I guess it connects to it. I didn't realize it was going to be kind of all one big thing here. I have to go down to our local bricks and minifigs store today because I need I'm hunting for some pieces for artwork that I'm working on. We are going to have to push some and make some room down here because we're getting ready to make this place quite a bit bigger. And I could just order them online. But they're having a pretty good deal right now. They had you go and get this like summer bucket, like a sand bucket. And the first time, and you could fill it up. And the first time it was like, I don't know, $25, which is actually a really, really good deal for as many bricks as you can fit in this bucket. But then if you bring the bucket back in over the next couple months, you can get the bucket for only like $15. And that is a good deal. I was like, well, I might as well take my bucket back down there and see if I can find these pieces. I'm actually looking for these tiles like this, but I need them in black. Now this looks like a tent that would maybe kind of be more permanent. So it looks like it's made out of wood, so it maybe isn't a tent like what we used to have to put up, the nylon tents, and you had to do the poles and pop it all up and everything. Now the tents are so... Wait a minute. We need to go back in here. They're so easy because the poles have that kind of elastic that's in them. And then you can... I don't know if you've ever done it, but they just kind of fold all up and then they snap right into position. Where when I was growing up as a kid, the poles were just a whole bunch of metal poles that would dump out of the bag, and then you'd have to figure out how to piece them together properly to get the correct lengths and everything. They were much heavier, and then you'd have to try to pop them through, and it was like kind of putting up a house or something. There was a lot more that went into it, whereas now they usually only have 2 long and maybe a couple short or something poles, and it all pops up really easy. But back in the day, it was much more involved to put a tent together. I'm not sure that the adults enjoyed it quite as much as us kids. We thought it was like putting together a masterpiece. During the summers, when we were at home, we would ask my parents, can we take the tent out back and put it up and, have a sleepover in the backyard? And they'd be like, oh, sure, but you have to do it. Oh, we thought that was awesome. They would let us do that. This is a very dark blue, and then they're putting it with this almost lime green, and it's really beautiful combination there. But now as a parent myself, I think back and I'm like, I know exactly why they told us that we had to put it up ourselves. Let's move you over one. And they need the sleeping bag with the bikes. Dreaming about bikes. I was never a really avid biker, especially any form of mountain biking. I don't think that I conditioned my legs very properly, and I could never get up the hills. It wasn't my strong point, that's for sure. Now we're going to put yellow with the blue, which is nice. I don't like it as much as the green, but that's just me being fussy. Yellow. I love how they put pillows. This one's got hearts on hers. Hiking I could do. But bikes, not as much. It's going to go right in here next to it. So it looks like 2 bunk beds per cabin here. Now what are they going to have us put over here? Let's see. Where are you going in at? I'm not sure what they're putting in. Oh, that's too long. Yeah, because it goes on the back. This is probably to create the, I think it's like a lean-to roof, isn't it? How adorable is this? It's a little pink cup. I love that about the Friends sets. It just, colors are, there's no restrictions on colors. Well, look at what I did. I put this one here, but it had to go, one had to go over here as well, because that was not going to go on. Now it will. If I can get it to hold steady enough to put it on. It's kind of cool how they're doing that and creating these windows. One more. Oh, our bikes fell all over the place. They don't have a kickstand, so they're kind of just standing there and behaving themselves, but they're a little bit wobbly if you hit them the right way. I'm actually impressed they stand up so well on their own without anything. I guess the wheels are wide enough to do the trick. Now here they're going to put the little plates underneath of it before they put it on. Probably because it needs to be on both ends here. And we made another little window. I love the round windows. I'm going to have to remember this technique. I am definitely going to use it somewhere in my building. Just look at that. Isn't that really cool? Love it. There's been a little friend that has been kind of hanging out in the pile over here of bricks. We have a little red fox. I love foxes. There's something very special about them. Not sure exactly what it is, but there is something special about them. What I understand, they're pretty intelligent. And one more of these little combos that's creating that kind of sliding effect that I'm sure that the roof is going to lay across the top of. Like that. I'm guessing this is probably going to be our roof. Sure looks like one, doesn't it? Wow. There is a whole bunch of these little rounded plates going all along the edges here. I'm completely dawdling on a build that I'm working on. I just took a break from it and went and did the artwork that I'm trying to finish up. Did I get them all in? No. I need to put 2 more on either side of this. Here we go. Because I'm building this big ice cave. Well, I guess it's not ice, it's stone. There's ice and snow all around it. But I don't know how to make the roof. I don't know how to cover it because I've made it where I'm building it up from the inside. So I've got the walls and I've got pillars all in it. But I'm trying to figure out how then I would slope it and come across the top, because I don't want to just put a plate across it because it needs to look like, I guess, natural stone. But then there's going to be a lot of it that is not attached to anything. It's going to have to be able to kind of hold itself up. These are always really fussy about going in. You almost have to make sure the bottom ones click in before the top ones. There we go. These pieces specifically, even if they're 1 wide or 2 wide, either way, are very snug to get in there. But it also makes for a very secure attachment if you're needing to, there we go, make something strong. And it snaps down into there. That's very nice. Very, very good. Let's make a little book. Am I holding this right? Yes, I'm holding this right. I got confused there for a second. I've got little round tiles here that have little fire symbols on them, which I've never seen that tile before. And I'm loving that they gave me an extra one. But I'm not sure what the book is. Is it like how to make a fire? Oh, it's got a little music thing in here. I'm not sure. I guess it's the book you use when you buy the fire. So we have a song here. We can sing by the fire, and then we have, it's like somebody's little journal songbook or something. It's got a little worm on it. That's one thing we didn't do. We didn't sit around the fire and sing, and I know that seems to be something that's done a lot. But so you can lift that up, put a little book in, put that down, and then we have our fox that they tell us to put on. Keep bumping things over. And they're telling us to put the hatchet right here, in case we need to chop some more wood. All right, we have bag number 3 left, and then we'll be all done. We get to build another friend called, let's see, his name is Zach. Oh, he's got a tent on his shirt. Nice hairpiece. That's awesome. Look at that. It's all shaved up on the back and then nice swoosh on the front. We'll put him. Oh! Well, he tipped everybody over. They're a little wobbly when they're holding things. So this is the other little cabin that goes next to that one. Had to run and take care of those pups. They decided they were going to get all wound up and start making a ruckus. Get into things that they shouldn't. They're smart little, push this over here, smart little dogs. And Wally has figured out that anytime I am absorbed in a project or having dinner or something like that, it's his opportunity to be naughty. And so he just starts to get into all kinds of trouble and figure out, well, maybe now that they're eating or now that she's building, she won't see if I get into this or this. And it's like, we actually started to get smarter than him, and when it was time for dinner, he had to go on a leash and sit by me at the table, because otherwise, normally he's pretty good, but you sit down for a meal and he's up getting into all kinds of stuff, doing everything he shouldn't do. Like, not entirely sure why he thinks that that's an opportunity, but he does. So they were all playing nicely on the floor, and then I sit down to build. He's like, I wonder what I could get into over here. They say dogs can be high maintenance, and I have to agree with that compared to like cats. But it also probably has to do a lot with how you train them, and I'm still working on that one. We still have a lot of training that needs to happen in this home. Kind of building up our base very similar to the last one. I think these cute little cabins beside each other. Looks like some mushrooms. Put some little fungi around. We've had so much rain the past few weeks. I started to notice a lot of mushrooms popping up in the yard, and trying to, get to them and clear them out before Wally gets to them. I'm trying to figure out which one. Oh, it goes here. That is really confusing because I was seeing these come down in the picture, but then this looked like it had a open spot, and sure enough it does. But that one threw me for a little bit of a loop there. I like how they put in the stones around. They're kind of putting texture to the ground, and how they put in these little plates of stones. I have a feeling this is going to be built very similar to the last one. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get the rounded windows. I did end up taking a quick break between bags 2 and 3 and running down to the store for my errands. And so I was able to pop into the Bricks and Minifig store that I told you I was going to. Kind of had to time my day around everybody's schedule because I wanted my daughter to go with me so that she could help me dig around in the brick bucket. And I'm glad I did, because she has got a really fabulous eye for detail, and she was able to find a lot of really awesome bricks. That one's cute. I like the kind of the checkered stripe down the middle there. But when we were digging through the bucket, the store was kind of empty. Otherwise, it was a quiet time, I guess, there. And let's see, that goes there. And I started chuckling because I said, my kids have a talent. Of course, they're all adults now, but they have a talent for being able to do an incredible job spotting out and sorting through bricks. Because the whole time they were growing up, we were always, whether my son and I were building a big build, creative build of our own, or we were, buying a bulk buy or something, a bucket that somebody was getting rid of, and then kind of sorting it into the organization. They would somehow always get roped into helping us be able to get that done. I remember my daughters would always get so frustrated because they were like, how are we involved in this project? My son and I would build a huge build. This was, they were all teenagers at this point, but we would build something really big. And then it would be on display for a while, but then we need to take it down so we could build something else. And it was going to be such a big job. And we thought, well, if we had more hands, it would go by faster. And so we'd get them, kind of rope them in somehow. Usually we'd have to bribe them with something. We'd watch whatever movie they picked or something. It was definitely not a big enough payment for what they usually ended up having to do, but breaking down a build usually wasn't too bad because you actually end up using a lot of the same pieces. You know, if you do something like that, if you're building up any form of landscape or something. But when we would get, you know, somebody would be selling a big Tupperware of bricks, and so we would pick that up. Now that's really when it gets difficult because you, depending on how many sets they had, you can have about every Lego piece that, you know, could have existed during that time in there. And so to sort through every single one of them, it can be a very daunting task. And I'd say, you want to come help me, you know, sort? And they'd always grumble and complain about it, but you know, they were just so awesome. They would always build sort with me. But because of that, because we did it so many times, they are really, really good, all of them, at being able to, you know, take a big pile of bricks and then be able to, you know, sort real quickly and kind of break down where, you know, we would usually first pull out all the plates and then all the standard bricks and just do fast sorts to kind of break it down. But it's when you get to all the teeny tiny little bitty pieces that it really becomes a chore. There are so many different little bitty kinds, and get very overwhelming very quickly. This one is actually a little bit different because they have this dark orange piece here, but here they don't. They maybe, oh, I'll bet you we're going to maybe build up another one. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we are, because we're going to put these in here first. Kind of extend this wall out a little bit. Probably give us an opportunity to put another slope up here. Yep, there we go. We're gonna do that again. Put our final brown slope up. These little cabins go together pretty well, don't they? Coloring on this one is a little bit different. We had like these almost turquoise, dark turquoise type colors. But now we're going to put in yellow. That's the blue cabin, I guess we could call it. And this is the yellow cabin. Something special about going to camp. Hopefully with old friends, meeting new ones, having adventures. Don't you wish you were a kid again? I'm not sure how I feel about this yellow on this tan looking piece. It somehow doesn't look quite perfect. Oh, here we go. Now we have these again. See if we can. Yeah, well, that one went in really easy. Those blue turquoise pieces did not go in easy at all. Oh, fun. It's a little spider. And a spider, and his spider web, look, it's got the cutest spider on it though. I don't even like spiders. I don't mind a cute one though. I like the jumping spiders though in real life. If I come across one of those, I like to observe them. They're really cute, and that kind of is what reminded me of this guy. He looks kind of like a jumping spider with his eyes. I'm going to turn this up and put this on here. Oops. It's funny that he's up in the rafters. Now we have logs coming out of this. Okay. I'm going to need to build this up 4 times. It's got a little stump on the end of it, or open cut of wood, I guess. And they go down there. This has been a fun set. I built so many different kinds of Lego sets. I'll build any of them, but there's something about the Friends sets that just make me feel like I can enjoy being a kid again or something. I don't know. They're so much fun. I'll make a pen flag here. There we go. Let's see, we need a pole to put them on. And it's all done. There we go. So I built that pretty quickly. It's very, very cute. A little fire pit there. Oh, I'm glad we were able to build that together. And I hope to build another one of these amazing Friends sets very soon. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.